All right, everybody, welcome back. Sometimes, well, let's face it, sometimes the things we need to think about are not exactly the most fun things to think about.
That's true.
And today's one of those. We're diving into the world of life insurance.
Okay.
And not just any life insurance, but specifically how it all works when you're dealing with Parkinson's disease.
Right.
So, look, I'm no expert.
Well, I can help with that, I think. I've been in the insurance world a long time.
Perfect. So to get us started, we've got some material here from, let's see, Diversified Insurance Brokers.
Okay.
Full disclosure, it's marketing stuff.
Right.
But honestly, even marketing material can have some really helpful nuggets in there, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's always, well, they have to give you some real information to make it worth reading.
Exactly. Okay, so first things first. This source is telling us that, yes, you can get life insurance even with a Parkinson's diagnosis,
Right.
but obviously it's not quite as simple as, checking a box and you're good to go.
Yeah. Not quite that simple.
So help me understand this from the insurance perspective. What is it about Parkinson's that makes it different?
Well, you have to remember that insurance companies, at the end of the day, they're all about risk.
Hmm.
And with Parkinson's, you're dealing with a progressive neurodegenerative disorder, which basically means the brain's changing over time.
Okay,
And it's really hard to predict how it's gonna progress for each person.
that makes sense.
So that unpredictability, that's what makes it tricky for insurers.
Okay, so this source, they actually list out a whole bunch of factors that they consider when they're, evaluating someone with Parkinson's for life insurance.
Uh-huh.
We're talking stage of Parkinson's, symptom severity. Are you responding to treatment, cognitive function, mobility?
Right.
Is it really that? I mean, it seems incredibly detailed.
It is. It really is because, they're trying to think of it like they're building a profile.
Okay,
They're trying to really understand, okay, where is this person in their journey with Parkinson's?
right.
And how might that journey impact, how long they'll live? And ultimately, that's what they're trying to, get a handle on the likelihood that they'll have to pay out on that policy.
So it's not just like a yes or no kind of thing.
No, not at all. It's much more nuanced than that.
Okay. And this source mentions medical exams. I imagine that could feel pretty intense for folks.
Oh, absolutely. You've got physical tests, cognitive assessments, maybe they're digging through your medical records.
Mm.
If you have Parkinson's and maybe you're already dealing with mobility issues, it can feel like a lot.
So let's say the medical exam is just like not an option for someone. Are there any other ways to go about this?
Yeah, and this is where understanding the different types of life insurance policy comes in.
Okay.
The source talks about three main ones. So you've got fully underwritten policies. Those are usually the most affordable.
Okay.
But that's where the medical exam comes in.
Right.
Then there's simplified issues.
Simplified issue.
Yeah, so with these, you don't have to go through the whole medical exam rigmarole.
Okay.
But you'll pay higher premiums because the insurer is taking on more risk without having all that detailed medical information.
Makes sense.
And finally, there's guaranteed issue.
Guaranteed issue.
Pretty much as it sounds, you're approved automatically.
Oh, wow.
The catch, it's the priciest option, and the benefits might be more limited.
Okay, so there are definitely trade-offs at each level. I'm seeing a theme here.
There always is with insurance.
So one thing that really jumped out at me in this material was the advice on things you can do to kind of boost your chances of getting coverage. They talk about healthy lifestyle, diet and exercise. But is that really going to move the needle when we're talking about an condition like Parkinson's?
It's a good question, and I understand why someone might feel like, hey, I'm already dealing with this serious condition. Why does my lifestyle even matter?
Right.
But think of it from the insurer's perspective. They see those healthy habits as a sign that you're being proactive, you're managing your Parkinson's, you're trying to stay ahead of it.
It shows you're serious.
Exactly.
It's almost like you're saying, hey, I'm doing everything I can.
Yeah, and that can make a difference.
Interesting. They also mentioned working with a broker, someone who specializes in this kind of thing. Of course, they plug their own company.
Of course they do.
But putting the sales pitch aside for a second, it makes sense to have someone on your side who really gets it.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with something as complex as life insurance.
Yeah.
You want someone who understands pre-existing conditions, who knows the ins and outs of all these different policies, and who can shop around for you.
So they're doing the legwork.
Exactly. They can compare quotes from a bunch of different companies, find you the best possible deal, and help you understand all the fine print. Saves you a ton of time and hassle.
It's almost like having a translator, right?
Yeah, someone who can decipher all that insurance jargon and make it make sense for you.
So big takeaway from today's deep dive. If you're living with Parkinson's, don't just assume life insurance is off the table.
Right.
Do your research, talk to the right people, and explore your options.
I completely agree. And I'd add, We've been focusing on life insurance here,
Right.
but it's just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. When you're living with a chronic health condition like Parkinson's, thinking about your long-term financial well-being is so important.
It makes sense.
So if you haven't already, consider talking to a financial advisor,
Okay.
someone who specializes in working with people with chronic illnesses.
Okay.
They can help you build a plan that really takes everything into account so you can feel confident about the future no matter what comes your way.
That's great advice.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the deep dive with me today. And to everyone listening, don't forget to check out our show notes for links to all the resources we talked about. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.